Excuse me. Excuse me. Thank you.
Valley Winter Song, take 1582. Hey, sweet Annie, don't take it so bad.
Messed up the guitar part, but you got it right. I was just so stunned. I was like, what note comes next? I'm gonna play a freaking G.
This shop is even more of a mess. Okay. Still got one more plug to do. Anyways, plans changed. I lopped both ends off, sleeved them, put them in the lathe, squared them, plug welded them. I cut 2 1/4 out of either side, so I lost 4.5 inches total. My axle shafts are exactly the same. They've been ordered from Dutchman. I welded my truss on most of the way. I've got some more to do. I need to get some more gas for my torch and heat this up really good, or just turn my heater back on and make it 200 degrees in the shop. But it's turning out pretty good. Actually had some help yesterday. Oh gosh, Tiffany came over, and Dan and my buddy Will, and Tiffany wanted to learn how to weld, so I actually let her weld the inside of this truss and some of these top. If you look real close, I got a little bit of porosity. I'm gonna have to clean up some stuff, but that's cool because she did a great job, and that's fine for your first time welding. That was great. Ended up capping up the tone ring port on the top. You'll notice this diff is, my opinion, is up pretty good for level, but that's how the CJ works. We're short wheelbase here, so anyways, yeah, this worked out pretty good. Rough stuff couldn't get me the spindles I needed, so these spindles, I turned the seal surface down to 70 mil because is it Spintech that makes these hubs? Anyways, they're set up metric, so you've got to have a 100 by 70 seal, and the spindle, or the hub, sorry, is 100 mil. And then they want you to use this particular seal. Of course, I ordered these on Amazon. I did not buy them from Rough Stuff or any of them. I bought those, and I couldn't get my spindles from Rough Stuff. These are Dana 60 spindles. What I did find is there's tons of information on the internet. You can get back on Pirate and try to figure it out yourself. But people talk about having to space the hub or run a spacer. What they mean is your distance from where this outer bearing and the inner bearing sits on a 60 versus a 14 bolt. This inner bearing needs to get pushed, and I wish I knew this when I had this on the lathe, but the inner bearing needs to get pushed. It's in the 30 seconds. It's less than 1/8 of an inch out, so that you can get preload. Basically, the inner bearing will be loose, and the outer bearing will hit this step. So what I should have done is just run the step in another, I don't know, 1/4 of an inch, and then everything would have been great. I would have been able to get bearing preload. But now I'm going to have to space the outer part, or the the inner bearing out, so I can get some preload. The seal's still going to work great. Everything's perfect. And actually, I think I mentioned it on another video. I've got some carrier shims, I think off of Dana 30, that are going to work. So I'll just get the mic out, make sure they're the right distance, and then slam that back together. I had all this together to measure for my axle shafts from Dutchman, and now it's all blowing back out. So what I've got now is I'm going to hopefully try to heat this carrier up and finish welding my truss on. Then I need to blow this diff apart gear it, make some backing plates for my, or caliper brackets for my calipers, and then I guess I'm ready to start taking some measurements off the CJ axle, because I can't remember those off the top of my head, to get this thing under the Jeep. But like I said, sleeving these, man, I checked every which way, and these spindles are perfect. And I'm very, very hesitant to use the word perfect, but the tubes are perfect. They are perfectly straight on both sides. So putting it in the lathe, milling everything down to where it slots in, is definitely the way to go. I wish I had remembered to drill my plug welds for this side when I had it at work, but I ran out of time on my lunch break, and I was going to do it after work, and then it just didn't happen. But that's okay. Just gotta figure out a drill bit that I can use to get that done.
But I promise I won't tell. This is my lullaby. I'm trying to make it up. So imagine the fireflies looking into my eyes. I'll see you when you wake up. And I say, oh my, oh well. This world is going crazy and I don't know if you can tell. I say, oh my, oh well. People think I'm crazy, but I promise I won't tell.
Okay, that was a lot of grinding. Yeah, this thing's still very, very hot, which is great. I need to pull the diff cover off, but I failed to bore both my plug welds on this outer sleeve portion. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I will answer a couple questions because I had people texting me. Brent, your shop is terrible. Yes, this shop is horrible. There is stuff sitting. I've got a giant air compressor sitting outside right now. Working on my other building. I got a 3-bay. So it's completely cleared out right now. The CJ's sitting over there, but that's it. Putting in new lights, air supply lines. I got to cut a bigger hole in the door for a bigger bay door in it. Doesn't have a very tall ceiling height, but it's going to work great. So anyways, yes, so this shop has become the catch-all for all of my things, and I need to continue to clean. Maybe when I get this finished and out, I will pull the project cluster truck out, because I have more parts for that coming in. So anyways, I'm going to keep fiddling with this, drill some holes in that, plug weld them. I'm not going to do any more time lapse. You guys are probably sick of that. I'll check back in a minute. Having to mute my music every time I turn on this camera. It's pretty annoying. Anyways, yeah. Drilled, used a little drill bit, then a big drill bit, stepped it out. It's, you know, pretty easy. You can actually feel it when it goes through the first material into the second. So, drilled down until that one, you can see the line between the two, because it is a press fit, but you can still see it. So, welded those up, and now I'm really trying to decide. I've got time this evening, but I don't really want to play with a hot diff. But sure, let's play with a hot diff. I think I'm going to pull the pull the diff cover off while my floor is still filthy. I really ought to get the leaf blower and get some of this grind out of here. But yeah, I want to be done grinding and all that stuff so I can start gearing. But I think once I grind those 2 plug welds, yeah, once I grind those down, the axle is cleaned up and ready for control arms. I need to grind a little bit more right there for that other lower, and maybe clean up my weld there in the corner. But other than that, grinder and paint makes a welder what he ain't. By grind it down, I meant I was gonna do another pass. Yeah, I think that's good. And I just put the thermometer on it. She's like 230 degrees. I let that cook for a little bit. Gotta go find my welding blanket. So yeah, there's that. I don't think I'm gonna pop this diff open this evening. That's a little excessive. I may just try to get all my setup stuff out. I need to find all my tools. I may dive into exactly how I do Dana axles. I'm pretty good with Fords, but I've done the most 44s, 60s, 30s, 35s. So we'll see. I've done a 9-inch or 2 when I worked at the resto shop. So, but these are pretty simple. One of the things everybody's giving me crap for, everybody now goes to a 14 bolt because you get that extra pinion support bearing, which is cool. But also my rig weighs like 3,300 pounds. Yeah, I don't think it's going to be a problem. And the AMC engine makes like 150 horsepower from the, maybe 130 horsepower from the factory. So yeah, again, don't see it being an issue right now. What I don't like is, this is a Universal Artec Dana 60 truss. And I forget what that version is. I'm sure somebody will comment. Which is cool. I normally make all my own trusses and do it with tube, but this was faster and I'm on a deadline. But I don't like how I've got like half an inch gap here, and I don't really want to fill that. It was pretty tight across the top and the back, but I got this little gap here, and I think it has something to do with this being a smooth housing. It was even on both sides. I did have to cut the fill off the back, or not the fill. I did have to cut the speed sensor bung off the back and actually let Tiffany cap that. So we'll see if it leaks, Tiffany. But yeah, cut all that ribbing off and then capped that with a piece of steel before I put the truss on. So yeah, it's looking pretty good. I don't know. We'll see what else I get into this evening. Like I said, I may turn this heater back on and walk over there and see if I can find my welding blanket. Do you guys want to see the new shop? Huh. Okay. Let's see if I can figure that out. Okay. See, look, I'm not, complete heat, and I do actually have a clean building. Welding blanket. Oh. Anybody need a Jasper Reman 4.0 or a BMW M54 30? Yes, I have a boat project. Yes, it's got an all aluminum floor and all aluminum console, and I've done a bunch of welding and manufacturing. Blah, blah, blah. Welding blanket. Aha! Need this. Okay. Well, there she is. Just doing her normal thing. Yeah. Yeah. So, I've got some new tires that are going on this too. Probably this week I gotta go over there and pull them off the buggy. Oh, and swap on this. I like these Super Swampers in the mud. They are actually pretty awesome, but they're just old and hard, and I don't know if you can see. I think it's this front tire, yeah. Like, it is just getting absolutely trashed. Like, the compound's so hard now, we're chunking them off. They got pretty full tread I'm sure one of the mud bog guys down here would love them, so I'll throw them up for cheap. And I think I might be rubbing a little bit right there because I'm cutting them up a little bit. But yeah, that's CJ. 4-link rear, triangulated, 3-link front. I made the frame rails. They start right after that motor mount. Brought them out like 2 inches and up. So factory CJ frame rails sit underneath of this header, or the front grill, and my grill is actually inset a little bit in my frame rails. The bumper is part of my frame rails. That's just your generic Harbor Freight winch plate. I've had good luck with that Smitty built, man. It's been solid. That's a 79 International Scout 2 box. Put that on there like back when it was still leaf sprung. That thing's been on there for like 5 years now. Now, got FOA coilovers in the front. Got my intake routed into the cow. Definitely cuts down on having to change air filters with all the dust and everything. And at one point in this Jeep's life, I may have hydro-locked it. So, intake inside the cab. It's got a little cage kit back when Blue Torch Fab was a thing. I got that from them. Stuck it in there. But yeah, we're going to slam the axle in it now. And then probably this summer, I'm going to take a Sawzall and cut the frame right there. It was marked. Cut the frame and then push it back about 7 inches. I got another tub out there that my good friend Lupo gave me. So I'd like to incorporate that tub into this Jeep. But yeah, it's still got some Windrock mud on it. Even though I pulled it back in the Hurricane, it's a lot cleaner now. But I think top is coming back off. It was great in the Hurricane, but I don't like having a top. So anyways, this might be a short video because I think I'm going to do all my gears and everything on a third one. But if there's anything you guys want to look at, I'll, boat stuff or any of my other projects like the cluster truck, just let me know. But yeah, I think oh, where'd I set that blanket? Grab that welding blanket, go cover up that axle, and I'm probably gonna go to bed. Peace.
Don't take it so bad.
Messed up the guitar part. But you got it right. I was just so stunned. I was like, what note comes next? I'm gonna play a freaking G.